a safe distance until the risks are more clear.
So many ships! I cannot believe we are actually here, ready to witness something truly historic.
The Terran Secret Service has been alerted to potential gate activity. The Intervention Corps has been ordered to undertake a threat assessment with regard to the potential impact on Sol territories. We can only guarantee everyone's safety as long as the expedition remains close to the intervention fleet. However, we advise everyone to stay clear of our firing arcs.
Initial scans indicate some activity. We need to get closer for a more thorough read of the situation. Mission specialist, approach the gate cell interface with it to initialize a direct data stream for our onboard science team.
Affirmative. Approaching the jump gate. Activating scanner. Accessing nacelle.
Data stream is initialized. Looks like... Pull back. You're going to destroy them.
Battle stations, prepare to engage. Nothing? Well then, Intervention Corps, prepare for traversal.
The expedition shall follow close behind. Mission specialist, remain here and establish an outpost to derive a complete reading of the gate's coordinate data.
On it, sir. Godspeed, everyone.
Entering system. Watchful gaze.
Oops.
This is an historic expedition. Without compare in a lifetime, I am overjoyed to see you here. We were rather hoping to be enjoying a reunion with King Demand after gate reactivation. The most recent Boron missive indicates that this has been the overwhelming focus of their civilization's scientific resources. So you will forgive us, perhaps, for being seduced by the possibility. Telemetry shows that this system is annotated as watchful gaze, yet we cannot detect whether it is itself isolated or connects further to any number of other systems.
Ooh. How have I not noticed that that is not solid?
Preliminary scans indicate that this system is uninhabited. No sign of boron or any other kind of life, biological or artificial.
This cannot be true. Are you certain that the sensors are not malfunctioning? It has been so long. I really thought this might be the day I finally reconnect with my kin of the Fin.
Take heart.
Kin of the Fin!
Your reunion. Explorer, we need some detailed system mapping. The task is in your hands. There is much to learn here.
Right, that's sold. Let's get that upgraded. Which is the better engine? I can't remember if it's Paranid or two 883-455. Yep, that'll do. We are gonna sell this nonsense. That upgrades cost me 10k. God damn. If I'd have known that it had all that stuff when I captured it, I would have sold it and upgraded it instantly. But anyway, storyline.
Preliminary data has identified some points of potential interest. We are having trouble logging on to exact locations at this range.
Em-
See if you can pinpoint them for us.
Derelict ship.
Oh my! Could that be?
By the Trinity, a Boron vessel.
My instinct says we should take a closer look. Assistant, I think you should suit up and investigate.
Yazur Mark III.
See if you can repair the panel to gain access.
Right. Let's get this repaired.
Your ship's sensors are picking up a weak energy signature amongst the debris. Running decryption and reconstruction algorithms. The data
Oops.
is totally incomplete, but it appears that this was an outpost of some man. There are signs of an attack from several directions. It seems that the operators would have had little, if any, time to react. How frustratingly peculiar. I am forwarding all of this to our esteemed expedition commander. Perhaps he can garner more clues. I have my doubts, though.
Numankret, sir. Our team confirms that the Heretics End Gate does indeed contain the coordinates to the Kingdom End system. The timing cannot be coincidental, can it? Just after we received word from the Boron? Is it possible that their experiments were somehow related to the gate reinitialization?
Coordinates and timing are relevant, but not conclusive. The fact of the matter is that this is definitely not Kingdom End. Interstellar messenger drones are not the fastest form of communication. We do not know what has occurred on the Boron side since their last message. Theoretically, a connection between the two gates is possible, but that is just a theory. It could well be that the systems were linked in the distant past.
Yes.
I can't remember where the miner is.
Compatibility does not mean much in itself. If activating or reprogramming these gates were easy, I am certain I would have overcome the challenges long ago.
The split didn't exactly give you a choice over your research focus. Could this be the Boron? Could they really have unlocked jump gate technology?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At this point, any further hypothesis will be mere speculation. Until we have more evidence, keep your ideas off general comms. If you must elaborate your theories, feel free to put them in writing.
Autopilot disengaged.
Must be out with the sector. Oh well, I'll look for it later.
Autopilot engaged.
There's definitely a miner in this sector that you can claim, I think.
Autopilot disengaged. Roper mineral.
And what is this? The ship seems to be in a salvageable condition. My guess is that it was likely abandoned not too long ago. Perhaps this new adjunct to the network is not quite as uninhabited as we thought. This is all very exciting. I will have to account for this when preparing for the next series of observations.
This is clearly a mining ship, but that's strange. As far as I can detect, there's really very little here to mine. All I can imagine is that the vessel came under an attack of some kind.
Pish tush. That is self-evidently incorrect. There is absolutely no sign of exterior damage. Yet that makes the mystery still more seductive.
Yazur Mark III.
Where is it? Is it underneath? I've never actually claimed this. Usually by the time I get to this point, I've got quite an extensive mining fleet anyway, and I don't want to dilute it with an L, a small.
Let me excavate the vessel's systems. Oh my goodness. These poor people are in desperate straits. They are veritably gnawing on the bones of this system for resources. According to the ship's logs, this vessel was cannibalized for parts to save the prospecting flotilla. Evidently, this system has long since been picked over, but they were gambling on some resources having been missed.
The Alliance has little use for a miner. Explore. Keep the ship. Do with it what you wish. Do not neglect to crew the vessel appropriately if you wish to make optimal use of it.
Roper mineral. Autopilot engaged. Autopilot disengaged.
How in the bejesus am I supposed to fly that if it doesn't have an engine? It does.
Hold on. I think I am picking up. Oh no, never mind that. Nothing of interest here. This system's peculiar conditions make getting accurate readings rather troublesome.
Explorer, you have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory. This is our first contact in the newly open network. We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions. Investigate, and if possible make contact, but maintain vigilance.
Unknown ship.
Oh my! disengage my armament. Greetings. I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Incredible! Finally, contact with our aquatic allies. Bosotar, are you receiving this?
Oops.
What did you say? A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron? Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bosotar, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been riven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
I am Neela T, adventurer extraordinaire. I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Neela T.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people from beyond the disconnected gates. How did you get here? Has a gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh, I knew it would have to happen eventually. What joyous news!
Momentous news indeed. Although we are less than clear on how this has occurred. There was speculation that the Boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task. Please, can you direct us towards Kingdom End?
You were in contact with Kingdom End? That is marvelous news. It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in all that time. The severing of the connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
My system is in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow Boron after all these years is an incandescent joy. But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than you know, Bosotar. We have all mourned this loss.
But without access to Kingdom End, your Queen and Parliament, how do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos, until a royal steward was appointed. I have had dealings with him. It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
We must make haste. There is much to be discussed with your leadership.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
A Boron society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Indeed, Bosotar. From your own experience, you understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen, and homeworld Nishala, but also from each other. Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity. The provinces adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary, but under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body. But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End. Your communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has found evidence of whether Kingdom End even still exists.
Autopilot disengaged. Entering system. Barren Shores.
Neela T, you bring us guests, outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in watchful gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We are connected to the network once more.
My word. If...
The delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There's so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I'm sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neela T. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Explorer, you have displayed some usefulness thus far. I'm tasking you with joining us in meeting the Royal Steward. I may have need of your insights.
You have clearly made an impression on the expedition commander. I sense you are becoming more central to his plans. Join the delegation. Watch this Royal Steward. I have some experiments to attend to, though I shall keep an eye on you.
Successfully.
A Boron capital ship. In all my days. A perfect equilibrium of function and ergonomics. And with such flair. My current abode is penurious in comparison.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed visitors. This historic occasion is the first of its kind. I am Lita V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Paranid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Esteemed Royal Steward, Lita Lee, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I am not current and no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the World, a diplomatic, foreign, and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Paranid authorities. Though we do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited, fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago, we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating jump gate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant jump gates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider. This really is momentous. I am afraid I must decline your request, for now. We cannot be precipitous.
By the glistening waters of Nishala.
I fail to understand. We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Leader we, they are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They have communications.
Neela T, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy in search of miracles, but I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider. Our guests have already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our homeworld. The priority at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I'm sure emissaries are preparing as we speak. Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand what is at stake. Please have patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate? What kind of royal steward are you?
Please?
There is nothing to be gained from trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance. Your
Okay, that kind of cooked a bit short.
The silent one, from our disappointing introduction. Your expedition commander hardly seemed in the mood for positive solutions. I cannot imagine that you presume to speak for him.
Assistant, perhaps uncovering more context first may help with your solutioneering.
From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our Boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom N to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure. Oh, we thought we were prepared, yet in truth we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see. We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity. Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically. Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores. Later, it was joined by several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown. I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron. You see, we Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so much to accumulate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue.
That certainly could have gone better, but all may not be lost.
The Protectorate has determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Sol or the wider network. Our orders are to deploy to a position of more strategic importance. Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
The Alliance of the Ward thanks you for your support. You shall proceed alone from here on. Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
The Steward and I have had our differences and I am so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly discordant display. Leader we and I disagree on much, but he is not a bad person. You know, he is just scared. Oh, you took note of that, did you? Time after time I approach Leader Weave for the resources to find our way back home, but he has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people. I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here. Out on the fringes, I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people. Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals. Before you bow or anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home, for the people to once again delight in a reunited, merry realm. I think he is scared of falling short. He carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces. He wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation. Yes, fraught with danger, the provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected to the provinces, it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together. Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark incursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed, so I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities. As you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile. Pleasant travels.
Who does this fool think he is? Does he not understand the gravity of our mission? Withholding his consent? We shall continue without it if necessary. You may have a point. Perhaps his simple mind cannot grasp all the variables at play. I wonder if we can help him to see the bigger picture. Yes, you are right. That much is obvious. I cannot help but wonder if there's more to the issue than that. Perhaps he is overly attached to his role as Prime Administrator of the provinces. A reunion with King Dement would inevitably result in him having to relinquish power and standing. I understand. He is worried that our presence will stir up an infestation of the Chitterers. The Alliance of the Wood is certainly prepared to provide assurances that our investigation will not leave him exposed to Ka'ak attacks.
The silent one from our disappointing introduction. Your commendable commitment to peace is as welcome as it is unexpected. The Alliance of the Word is to be lauded for its respect for our peaceful ways. I am fully aware of Neela T's royal connections. Is it your opinion of me that I am some petty functionary who can be bought and sold, bribed by the highest bidder? You misjudge me, and you misjudge Neela T. For all our disagreements, I cannot conceive that she would be party to such a grubby approach. Of course I desire the return of the provinces adrift to the warm embrace of the homeworld. But what kind of servant would I be if I did so at the expense of the welfare of those under my charge? This is all terribly challenging. My instinct is that your expedition is honest in its intent. However, I find your judgment questionable. Well...
Questionable, but he still agrees to help.
Succeed in your mission. However, I ask of you, do not make me regret this. With the gate and watchful gaze reactivated, to our knowledge, only 3 more dormant gates remain in province space. One is located in Ocean of Fantasy, another in Barren Shores. The final one was discovered by scouts in Sanctuary of Darkness. If Sanctuary of Darkness sounds foreboding, you may find that the name is fitting. It is host to a significant Ka'ak infestation. Even uttering the name makes my fins tingle. Yet I must remain firm on the matter. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with the Ka'ak. Every interaction with them results in horrific conflict.
You have our word, Leader Wee. We shall do everything in our power to avoid undue provocation.
Thank you. And may I bestow upon you a gift? We have prepared for you a fighter ship. A humble gift, but hopefully it will be of use to you in the times ahead.
Explorer, you have done well to secure access for us to continue our mission. Please, claim the scout ship as your own. It will serve you well.
Yazur, Mark, Re.
Oh, I've got to claim it, and I first.
Mako.
To investigate the dormant gates to formulate the next step of our expedition.
I am already familiar with the gate in Ocean of Fantasy. If you supply me with the necessary equipment and provide me with a few pointers as to what exactly I am to do, it would be my deepest pleasure to assist.
Excellent. The Alliance shall investigate Barren Shores. That only leaves the matter of the final gate, the location of which is somewhat more precarious. Explorer, you have excelled thus far. Put that new fighter of yours to good use, and find Sanctuary of Darkness. It seems that you are best suited to this task.
Shoot. That didn't work how I intended it to. Where's my ship gone? What's he doing?
I know that the Alliance has received communications from Kingdom End, but those were dispatched decades ago. Hopefully, they have fared better than the Boron here. I am curious about the contents of their message. Just how much of their preliminary findings have they shared with their Alliance counterparts? Once we have gained access to both gates' data, maybe the Alliance really intends to conduct experiments from our side too. Trying to manipulate gates would be an incredibly involved undertaking. Yet it seems as though Numankaret is single-minded about the whole endeavor. Can you imagine the possibilities that would be open to us if we could manipulate these gates at will?
Thanks to the newly
Where is this?
open trade routes, we have commenced rebuilding our shipyard. You are, of course, most welcome to aid us in our undertaking.
Oh, of course, he won't take off because this is the last ship I've boarded.
Of course, be lucratively compensated.
Sir.
Yazur, Mark, Re.
Oh, it's already on there. Sweet.
Mako. Yazur, Mark, Re.
I have arrived at my designated inactive gate. I shall commence taking readings immediately.
Do I really want to keep the Boron? It's all my money gun. Oh, that's right, yeah. There we are. Yeah, let's sell it. Same with this.
Jumpgate, Barren Shores. Unknown object. Entering system. Sanctuary of Darkness.
Sanctuary of Darkness. According to our archives, there was once a Xenon presence hereabouts in the network. I wonder what befell them.
Oh, is that so? Then we were quite lucky that our systems were not connected directly to a Xenon stronghold. There is no way we would have survived, given the state of our military.
Now, see if you can locate the inactive gate in this system.
Be careful. Take great care when navigating. We must honor our word and avoid the curve. You will also need to be cautious of the region's other hazards. I recommend that you stick close to the asteroids. They seem to be an exceptional indicator of where your ship will not be harmed.
Forager. Danger. Hive guard. Container. Hive guard. Container.
Alright. I'm just going to lay the beacons now. And I don't have to do it when I go back. I just have to lay one.
space.
Here it is. Approach the jump gate nacelle. Try to get a reading. Each jump gate has 2 pairs of nacelles. They act as caches for storing operational data, among many other things.
God damn it.
I'm not very familiar with this technology, or who created it, but thanks to recent scientific advancements, we are able to make sense of some of the information that we are retrieving. It seems apparent that some of the data likely represents the coordinates of other jump gates. Whether this means that these gates were built in the distant past is mere conjecture. Perhaps the builders had reasons unknown to us for certain gates to hold, special compatibility. The vast majority of the data in these caches remains a vexing mystery to us all.
Danger.
Gathered everything we can access from this nacelle. Move on to the one on the opposite side.
Oopsie.
Yes, some of this data looks rather promising. I'm forwarding all of this to our science team as we speak.
I would. Once you are satisfied with the placement, confirm your changes. Now, allocate sufficient credits to the construction site. I recommend accepting the estimated construction budget. Oh my! I am picking up a worrisome fluctuation in energy signatures.
Forager.
You fought bravely, Explorer.
Yes, your display of skill was altogether impressive. I just hope this commotion does not result in a more severe and unwelcome reaction.
Is that it?
Our science team has pored over the data that Neela T was able to lift from the cache. While we have not yet completed our examination of the Sanctuary of Darkness cache, it is quite obviously the most promising of the gates. Despite the additional challenges the Ka'ak will represent,
More dangerous, perhaps, but I'm afraid that things are not going well in Ocean of Fantasy either. The system's planet is devastated and completely uninhabitable.
perhaps once the provinces have re-established their economy, they can attempt some terraforming. For now, this expedition needs you to map out safe passage for a larger fleet to navigate through Sanctuary of Darkness. You can use nav beacons to determine an appropriate route. Just stay clear of the Ka'ak installations. And other hazardous regions, obviously. For a better overview of the task in hand, do not hesitate to consult your map.
nav beacon.
How did that fail? What's going on with that?
Yes, it looks like you have found a route.
Okay,
Nicely done, Explorer.
that was just too early.
The expedition shall now establish a scientific outpost. This may be the beginning of a most fruitful phase in our journey together.
Danger.
Meh.
You know, for the longest time, the community of planets thought the Kark had been eradicated by their joint efforts. Recent attacks on solitary miners, and now this, prove this notion was overly optimistic.
Get two of them. Wayfinder expedition has arrived at its active gate with the assistance of we are currently procuring building materials required to Robert's support.
Autopilot entering system. Sanctuary of darkness. Autopilot disengaged.
Yeah, it's gone up. Three will be enough. That'll be 1.5 mil per trip. Which will then allow me to build a resource hub here, which will take silicon and ore from here and here and currently just sell it there. I will need to work on my reputation here. You know what, let's fill up. Of course, I won't get the update for the mission until he actually gets there. You know, I probably shouldn't have sold that mission. Pretty sure there's a quest to sell Mako's to Jeff's Choice. Oops. Come on.
We've established a perimeter around the inactive jump gate. Now we are commencing the construction of an outpost. Do not elevate your hopes quite yet. Experimentation shall begin soon, but jump gate technology is very alien and highly volatile. We do not know for certain whether we can ever successfully force a connection, particularly without real-time coordination with our Kingdom and counterparts. Nonetheless, we have an ideal candidate gate for experimentation. The Alliance of the Word has an obligation to our cousins in Kingdom and to try our utmost. These technological marvels have eluded our understanding to date. Something about the interfaces remains stubbornly out of reach. The final spark. In any case, Explorer, congratulations. You have performed your part. Done so unimpeachably. We will keep you updated on our progress in the coming years. And, if fate wills it, you may one one day find your name in the annals of the great explorers and scientists.
So he'll just go and do his thing when that's been upgraded. And I've got to wait for him to sell. You know what, actually, let's just set him to auto mine, and then I can just send him off to get new engine as and when. A little bit too early for Kark to start attacking anyway, so... Just to remind me that he needs upgraded. Right, so am I going to get an update from the Boron? Don't do this in a normal ship. It will die.
Danger. Hazardous region detected. Docking granted.
Bloody docking computer.
Successfully docked.
What can I do for you, esteemed explorer? Ah, of course. Thanks to your valuable contribution, we are now able to establish a jump gate research facility. In theory, for a connection between jump gates, one needs the correct coordinates, energy, and a means to interface with the technology. Thanks to the cache you analyzed, we have the directional information from here to Kingdom End. Next, we set up a mechanism by which we can power the gate. The Boron of Kingdom End have explained how this can be achieved. Fortunately, deciphering the technology to enable that has been the focus of their research so far. While we are establishing the facility, the science team is working on the local environmental baseline, taking into account space-time warping from nearby stellar bodies and so forth. All that will take some time, but we already know it can be done. In fact, we have done it before, several times. The most significant hurdle that we just cannot seem to overcome is the jump gate technology interface. It is an incredibly complex process, but think of it as some sort of activation command. Frankly, making progress on that will be a significant challenge. I am uncertain if that is even within our technological capabilities. Sadly, we have nothing more for you to do at the moment. Our scientists are busy setting everything up.
Assistant, you must forgive my absence in your most recent exploratory endeavors. It is just, I have been somewhat preoccupied with my own observations. When did Numankaran say the Alliance of the Word plans to conclude their experiments?
Well, the expedition leader did suggest that he would keep us up to date over the coming years.
What? Years, you say? That is... Oh my, that is rather disappointing. I had hoped to contribute to their experiments right away. Well, since you are already running errands in Boron space, Would you mind assisting me in my personal research? Ever since my tentacles first grasped the scientific equipment in this research installation, I have been utterly fascinated by the Great Reef Nebula. Even if that pesky Sagaris Pioneers vessel is complicating accurate measurement collection at the moment, you see, I have identified several neutron stars, magnetars in fact, which pulse in an oddly specific way. One could be an anomaly. Two might be a coincidence, but I have already identified a potential third. I need you to verify my
You know what?
observations independently. To that end, I have compiled a list of positions in Great Reef
Oh, okay.
I need you to visit. Please do forgive me if I appear somewhat excitable. There is a chance that this could point to a discovery of immeasurable significance.
Two.
Tar has informed me of your exciting plans. You must let me accompany you. In fact, I will not take no for an answer. The Alliance is in the midst of their preparations. I have to say, the deluge of scientific jargon leaves me cold. I much prefer action.
You have arrived at the precise position. Excellent. Taking measurements now. No. This is no good. We will have to disregard these readings. Oh well. This shall not dishearten us. Assistant. Onwards to the next position.
Tar, may I ask you a personal question?
By all means, Neela T.
What makes you choose to remain out there? All alone in that tiny tank of yours. Are you not tempted to reunite with your kind? Now that we are
How does she know he's in a tiny tank?
More than to explore the provinces myself, and to get out of this tube for once. But my work is simply too important. After years enslaved in the service of advancing split weaponry, I now preside over what is quite possibly the most advanced scientific facility in the network. I am sorely tempted to abandon post. Even if it is just for a little while, I would most certainly love to see the Great Reef in person. But ultimately, my work here is so much more important than my personal desires.
So what is behind your enduring fascination with Great Reef? If you will forgive my candor, you seem to be rather fixated on this particular system.
Actually, I was born there. Not that I would have any memory of it. Then shortly, after I was hatched, I was taken to Argon space.
But wait, that would mean you were released.
Yes, indeed. If the records are correct, I am 47 years old.
Absolutely incredible. I never imagined I would ever meet someone so aged and venerable.
Hence my fear of spending time away from my laboratory. While my mind remains sharp, I must exercise it for the benefit of all. Taking the second set of measurements. Blasted photoplankton. Nothing. Again. We shall try once more. I know I am onto something. I can feel it in my fins.
Autopilot. Engage.
You know, it is strange. Our lifespan is short. At least in comparison to the other known sentient species. When you think about it, very few Boron of the provinces adrift will recall Kingdom End, or the benevolent leadership of our monarch. Yet, ask any one of them, and finding a way back home will be their preeminent priority. How is it that we are driven to pursue such things, even on the thinnest of leaves? Is this inherent Boron naivete, or an innate scientific drive?
That is simply our nature. We are known for being pacifists and scientists. But underneath all of that, are we not first optimists? Excellent. Yes, this position seems promising. Taking readings of the phenomenon now.
Empty.
Curious. What? No, this will not do at all. Assistant, something seems to be interfering with the measurements. You must get to the bottom of this at once. This asteroid is highly unusual. It It appears to emit some form of residual energy, impeding the accuracy of my readings. You must destroy it.
Wait, what? Is that really necessary? Can you not
It's already gone bye-bye.
accordingly, or reposition
Goddamn script.
for clearer measurements?
Inconceivable. We cannot jeopardize these readings in any way. There is no room for error or extrapolation. Everything must be exact. A controlled detonation would be the best course to pursue. Quite the spectacle. Obliteration may have appeared to be an extreme approach to resolving our issue, but it seems to have done the trick.
Please halt. We will be scanning your inventory.
Assistant, please return to the initially designated position at once.
The scan showed nothing unexpected. Thank you for your time.
Autopilot engaged. Autopilot disengaged.
Taking measurements now. This is...
Oh my! Would you look at that? That is 5 magnetars, each rotating at a comparable speed. No, wait, actually, this cannot be right. One rotation every 1.884 seconds, which equals 1 rotation per 3.14 thorium transitions, which, oh, you might not be following. Their rotational speeds are precisely identical.
5? With identical speeds? But that is impossible.
As we are observing it right now, it would be more accurate to say that it is highly improbable. But yes, the odds of this phenomenon occurring naturally are incredibly, unfathomably minuscule. And, viewed from this position, their positioning appears oddly symmetrical as well. The stars seem to be pointing towards that blue giant. I wonder if... Oh my! The radiation readings emanating from the blue giant are incredible.
Incredible. How?
They are oddly regular, in a manner that should not be possible. And they repeat, like a signal. Could this be what we have been missing? Surely not. That would mean... Did someone mean for us to find this?
Wait. A message written in the stars. For... you?
Oh no, please. Not meant for me specifically. But this constellation cannot conceivably be a natural occurrence. Its existence is a manifestation of intent.
The Alliance of the Word still seeks a means to interface with the gate technology. We may well have just found something worthy of closer inspection. I shall forward these findings to Nomenkla's team immediately. Assistant, you should head back to the expedition outpost now. I shall apply my intellectual suckers to the details of our discovery.
Explorer, do not for a nanosecond think that I am not coming with you.
Oh, hell. So this is how you set up a repeat order to gather crap. Absolutely, he's going to be gathering the stuff from the Kark. I do believe that they've nerfed the drop rate of the Cetar parts from the Kark, but it's free stuff, right? As long as my ship doesn't get taken out, I'm good.
Energy readings seem to be compatible with the jump gate, at least according to the science team's tentative simulations.
It is a cipher, deliberately placed to allow us access to the network.
I do not know whether that can be said conclusively. These are fantastical claims.
I'm gonna try and... I don't like the camera movement. If the camera was fixed, I would be all about this view. But it's not fixed. It shakes, it moves.
These gates use the giant as a constant point of reference, one that is detectable through a key
You can edit its position,
calibration of some kind.
but you can't make it fixed.
So I hesitate to spring to conclusions. That said, your findings certainly accelerate our scientific timeline. Explore
That kind of... The further back you go, it makes it a little bit more bearable, but...
It is quite obvious why he is so hesitant to entertain my hypothesis. I shall admit, it seems rather ludicrous on the face of it, but I believe he will rue dismissing the concept so readily. To encounter this phenomenon now, just as we are making our first foray into jump gate interaction, is a coincidence of astronomical proportions.
We shall see. I think the game would be so much better if I played it on this view.
Fully docked.
But once again, it's that... I wonder if there's a mod. X4 mod to fix chase camera movement. Before that, the exterior view was janky, but it was fixed, unless you moved it. And you could never get it right. But then they bought this new rear, you know, chase camera, and it's better. Makes it playable for me, but not in combat. That motherfucker in combat is terrible.
I have written these administration experimentation protocols. The science team is making the final calibrations. And, as you can see, the
But, you know, Egosoft,
structure
make it so that that chase camera is fixed.
Awaiting confirmation to proceed.
Oh, the delicious, heady feeling of pre-experiment anticipation. But Assistant, I would be surprised if our experiments here escape the attention of the Kark.
The Boron scientist has a point. I shall defer to your judgment on when we should commence the experiment.
We're not commencing it until my other ship's here. I'm not yet ready.
Very well. Return to us when...
Oh, he's there. I forget he's just as fast as me. Here we go. That's the Empire starting to build. So that'll be what, 1.8 mil every time once I get the third one going. So that is potentially 1 or 2 miners in addition. But the first thing is the hub.
Ah, there you are. Shall we...
Not move, mate. Yeah, begin.
You have authorization. You are green to go.
Uploading frequency profile as signal template. Oh yes, the change in energy signature is immediately detectable.
Indubitably, the signal you helped extract activated something within the gate's mechanism.
I can confirm that we can interface with the jump gate. It appears that we can input basic commands.
All of this seems to indicate that I really am onto something with the cipher hypothesis. The cadence of the blue giant's radiation output acts as a sort of key.
Introduce energy now.
Affirmative.
Stay on guard, everyone. Explorer, get back out there. Maintain a secure perimeter around the jump gate.
Engaging.
Cock, as expected.
Oh no, and with such calamitous timing.
Oh, who knew?
Protector.
Let's give it a go. Yeah, this is gonna take a bit of getting used to.
Forager. Protector. Forager.
Right, so that's the achievement for destroying 10 of them anyway. That'll do. Well, after 3,500 hours, I'm still getting achievos.
Forager. Protector. Forager. Protector. Forager. Hive guard. Forager. Protector.
I'm covering you.
Why? We're murdering them.
Hive guard. Forager. Protector. Wings guard. Forager. Jump gate. Protector. Forager. Hive guard. Protector.
The jump gate is almost powered up. Letting this leave base into myself.
Yeah, they fixed that. You guaranteed before the update that you would at least get one or two of the flux capacitor and damage singularity, and you'd usually only have to get the programmable thingamajiggy, but it's free loot nonetheless.
Protector.
It's all coming to me. It looked like that was all moving.
Everyone, fall back. Regroup at my position.
Get my loot, mate.
Container.
Got it before you, mate. Sorry.
Danger.
Yeah, this definitely nerfed the drop rate. But still good for basics.
Giant spike in radiation.
Well, this is certainly new.
Initial readings?
Everything. All scans seem to indicate regular jump gate function.
Incredible! It really does appear as though we managed to establish a connection between two gates.
But does it lead to Kingdom End?
There's only one method for ascertaining the answer to that question. Fleet, move out.
Wait! There is an energy flux.
And transition is achieved. Green lights across the board. No immediate danger detected. Oh my goodness! There's a fleet of Commonwealth ships right here. Greetings, friend.
How does he know we're Commonwealth ships?
Alliance of the Word.
We are indeed.
Judging by the equipment surrounding this gate, would it be presumptuous to imagine that you had a hand in activating the jump gate from this side?
Local Boron population. Yes.
How very impressive. Our scientists have been endeavoring to achieve this for countless times, but to no avail. Then suddenly, without warning, something changed, and we were able to interface with the jump gate.
Yes. We have just made the significant breakthrough that brings everything together.
You simply must share your findings with us. In the meantime, we will harden the gate defensive positions and establish patrols. And of course, our most venerable and beloved Queen Polyphides wishes to receive you and your subordinates to thank you for all you have achieved.
It would be an honor.
We will also need to instigate ties with the local administration.
I may be able to assist in that regard, and I cannot deny how thrilled I would be to come aboard as ambassador to my long-lost Boron brethren.
Explore. You and Boson were pivotal to the success of this entire undertaking. It would only be right for the two of you to join me in my audience with the Queen.
Me? Meet the Queen? This is also overwhelming.
Right.
Entering system. Kingdom End. Autopilot engaged.
See, why does that slow down now? I don't...
Autopilot disengaged.
Jesus Christ.
Autopilot engaged. Entering reflected stars.
I still cannot believe it. Kingdom End. In my lifetime. Look how beautiful it is. And we did it. We established the connection.
No.
Summoned by the Queen, no
We
less.
helped.
What a marvelous turn of events indeed, and it is reassuring to see the seats of Boron civilization faring so well. They have weathered isolation far better than the provinces. That is for certain. A strong economy, political stability, no signs of strife or unrest. They seem to be at peace. Now we can finally bring the provinces adrift back into the fold, and my people can finally share in that sweet tranquility.
I'll just swing by.
Autopilot disengaged.
It was just to let Sam.
Docking granted.
God damn. Right, that'll be that done then.
Greetings, travelers. It is our great pleasure as reigning monarch of the Queendom of Boron to receive you all in this historic moment. Our royal steward positively gushed with praise for his allies, and so I wish to thank each one of you who was so critical in bringing these long-lost systems back into the fold. First, Numunkaret, fearless leader, without whose vision and doggedness an expedition of such scale would never have been possible. You have our deepest gratitude.
You are most welcome, Your Majesty. The pursuit of knowledge and unity is my paramount drive. I could no more relinquish the task than I could cease breathing.
Nila T, our loyal subject and long-lost kinswoman. You have done your utmost to maintain the safety and security of the Severed Realm, despite hardship and adversity. And Steward Leader informs us that not for one moment did you let the dream of Kingdom End die. You have our deepest gratitude.
It is such an honor to be here, Your Grace. Just to be here, to see the home planet, is all the reward I will ever need.
And now for the prodigal's born, Bozo Tar. You spent a whole lifetime away from home, isolated from all fellow Boron in the most unimaginable manner, and yet you did not let these dreadful circumstances deter you. Welcome home, Bozo Tar.
Please forgive me. I have no words.
All rise.
And then, of course, there is you, Val Selton. We have been informed that your grit and fortitude were the backbone of this venture. Without your endeavors, it is doubtful that the Boron of Kingdom End would now be reunited with their brethren, or the Commonwealth at large. We thank you from the deepest well of our being. Now, Numunkaret, we expect that you and your science team will be quite busy for some time to come, exchanging your findings with our own scientists and making sense of all that has occurred here. Yet still, we have a favor to ask of you. It has been a long time since we last shared the network with other species. We ask that you use your expertise to coordinate a mission to reach out to our old allies and adversaries. Let them know that the Boron of Kingdom End have returned.
I would be honored to oversee such an undertaking, and I already know the perfect candidate to take up these emissarial duties. Explorer?
Me.
What do you say?
Of course we will accept. It presents a unique opportunity to explore every corner of the network.
We can only thank all of you again. You are great friends to our people. But now, we are afraid that we must ask you all to take your leave. Our royal duties cannot be postponed any longer. Farewell, dear friends of Boron.
This concludes the royal audience. Our honored guests, you are invited to hold your inaugural mission briefing at the designated venue.
Please follow me.
Oh no.